Greetings and welcome to another excellent World of Tanks video. This one is hopefully a fun video because I just unlocked the T-34-3 tank from the operation. And I'm going to show you the game that I played to unlock it. And to me, that's the fun part of the video, really. So I hope you enjoy that, and I hope you'll leave a like for this video to help spread the word across YouTube so that other people can see these videos and see what kind of stuff is going on over here that they may be missing out on. So let me show you something also that's fun. This is the prize I got from my free daily chest, which was pretty good. 5,000 free experience and, one free vehicle booster. You cannot complain about that. I know this would make Fish very happy. He's a big proponent of collecting free XP because he knows exactly how to use it. And so do I. So that was a bonus today. Now we're going to get along with the rest of the video. So this is the T-34-3. Now, it's a Chinese tank, as you probably already know. The commander you see here is one of the ones that comes from the store. Let's go to the commanders. Those are my Chinese commanders. And this guy is a regular, 1-star. So he's on sale for 500,000 silver every day, just like this lady. She's also 500,000 silver. This guy is a 2-star, and he's kind of rare. He doesn't show up that often. I've seen him for sale. The first time I saw him for sale, I was like, I don't need it. I don't have any Chinese tanks. I don't really need them, and so I didn't get him. And then I got some Chinese tanks, and I was thinking, sure wish I had that guy with the white, well, I guess gray jumpsuit with the bandoliers. That's what I call them. I mean, it's not really a bandolier. It's just, a belt, ammo belts is what he has. And so, luckily for me, Bernie gave me several commander war chests. And in one of those commander war chests was this guy. And I was like, I told him, I said, look, thanks for giving me these chests. That's great. But I really have just about every commander. So, you don't need to give me any more of these. I mean, it was a really nice thing to do. And I thanked him for it. And then when I got this one, I said, but I'm going to tell you that I'm sure glad you gave me this one because I didn't have this guy and I was looking to get him. And he's not available in the store. I mean, you can go and we can go look and show you. Watch this. So I went down to the bottom of the commanders to the recruit commander. And here you can buy the gold and silver commanders. So the top level here, 3 stars, middle level, 2 stars. And the 2-star commanders are 15% bonus earners, which isn't really very good. And I don't usually get the 2-star guys for their earning power. I get them for their characters, basically. So, I mean, that's, she's a 80s or 90s girl character. He's a 70s Vietnam War character with the radio. This guy just is a knockoff, but in a good way, of Robert Duvall. This guy, French, awesome commander, Claude Dubois, very cool. This is the guy that one of my commenters mentioned that this is supposed to be Brad Pitt from Fury. I had no idea. This guy, but he looks like Mike Ditka. Da Bears. That's who it looks like, Coach Ditka. So there you go. He's another character. This guy's another character, Big Butta Bill. I don't know what Big Butta means, but, you know, whatever the reference is, I don't get it. But, you know, again, another cool sunglasses wearing character. This guy was the only Russian 3-star commander. And you can tell he's Russian right there on the back. You can see his Russian flag on his belt. And then you can see the Cyrillic inscription on the back of his harness, I guess what you call that. But the rest of these guys here are all single star, regular silver commanders. You can buy any of these commanders. Now, some of these commanders are awesome because they have helmets that you can add. Okay, now this is the Chinese guy that you saw in the very beginning. And this is the Chinese woman. So I have all of these commanders that you see here. You know, just... do I have Vasquez? Geez, I think so. I think she was in the one of these groups that I got on a discount. Now, you know, it's like some of these I didn't go out of my way to get. Like this, you know, it's okay, but it's not really anything my style, really. We love Wojtek, great bear. You know, Vera is okay. He's okay. And, you know, he's really good for certain things as another character. Like I put him in my G.I. Joe Armadillo because he actually looks more G.I. Joe than the G.I. Joe commanders. So that was just hilarious. Absolutely, my number one favorite is the pirate. And the voiceover from the actor was just outstanding. That guy doesn't get enough credit as far as I'm concerned. Another good character, you know, this is a takeoff on the 40s Rosie the Riveter. So this is Mary the Mechanic. So that was kind of clever. And of course, you know, Heinz Bullseye Kraus. You know, we didn't have any three-dimensional German guys except for this dude. But he's more modern in my mind. I might be wrong about that, but he just appears to be more modern than this guy, Heinz. He's clearly, this is a World War II guy. And so he looked fantastic. So, you know, do whatever floats your boat. You know, like I said, I just pick them up. I wait for those bargain prices for commanders, you know, that show up in the store over time. Just every week, check your store. Otherwise, you're going to get broke paying $3,300, $3,300, $3,300, etc. Okay. And actually, I got this commander from the war chest as well. So I'm not telling you to buy war chests for commanders. It's kind of a personal deal. Most of the time, you're going to get, let me show you. You're going to get two-dimensionals. Now, this girl, I had never seen her before. She's a Russian 3-star two-dimensional commander. Absolutely awesome. I was glad, again, once again, this came from one of the ones that Bernie gave me. So did this Lancelot. So I put him in a French tank. These are all Charlemagne. He came out of the Commander War Chest. Now, I'm not telling you to buy Commander War Chest. I'm just showing you of the commanders I have, where they came from. He comes from the Commander's War Chest. I think this guy's in there. I didn't get him from there, but I think he actually shows up as well. I got this King Arthur from the Commander's War Chest, and I put him in my Excalibur tank destroyer. Kind of an obvious match, you know. Oh, wait a second. I don't understand. Oh, these are just my two-dimensional guys. Yeah, there's some other ones that I had, but I didn't care for some of those guys, so I got rid of them. But you can get some three-dimensional guys as well. Most of them are two-dimensionals. Those are your commons, and they span a wide variety. Most of them I don't care for. On two-dimensional commanders, I'm not a big fan But let me explain to you. I mean, 3 stars speaks for itself. He came from a mercenary tank. I got rid of the tank. I didn't care for it. But I kept him because he's a Chinese or Southeast Asian commander, and I didn't have hardly any of those, so I kept him for that reason. This is a Warhammer commander. I needed him for the Reaper Scythe, which is a orc tank. Arnold speaks for itself, 3 stars. German officer in uniform, keep it. This is the other Warhammer commander for my other Warhammer orc tank, 3 stars. Lancelot, put him in a French tank, don't have a lot of French commanders, so that was good. 3 stars, speaks for itself, Krafts Panzer IV, he's in my Krafts Panzer IV. Again, German officer in uniform. This is the singer from the Sabaton band, he's in the Sabaton tank, speaks for itself. Charlemagne, he's in the Charlemagne tank, speaks for itself. I love the pirate commanders, and primarily the 2 parrots, which you see here. So I have this red parrot and I have the yellow parrot. This is Montgomery. Again, 3-star commander, speaks for itself. This is Iron Maiden's Eddie. Really cool mummy. Kept it. This guy I kept for my Bellerophon tank, and then I used him as a British commander in my Birch gun as convenience. Zeus speaks for himself. He's in my T-92 American artillery, so he can command and call down lightning bolts from the sky. I already told you. Again, this is General Rommel, the Desert Fox himself. I'm only sad that there's not a 3D one, because I would buy the 3D General Rommel so fast it'd make your head spin. This is General MacArthur, speaks for itself. Yes, this is the other. Again, he's in the set, I believe, but he's in my Paladin tank, and which is a fantastic match. This is Richard the Lionhearted. This girl came to me again from one of Bernie's war chests that he gave me, 2-dimensional Mulan. And her first name is Hua, so it's Hua Mulan. And again, this is a double of the German commander, so I changed his name, and so I made it like he's a twin brother. So there you go. That's why I have these commanders here, these 2-dimensionals. Okay, so we covered, the Zheng story. Now I'm going to show you the game where I got this tank. I'm working on the contract for the KVTTS, whatever that Russian tank is anyway. And I'm on the section where you use tank destroyers. Well, so when I recognized that, I said, I'm going to use the WIESEL. It's a tank destroyer. It's not a light tank at all. And my commander just happens to be Coach Ditka, the Bears. If I had a bear sticker emblem, I'd put it on here, because it would be an inside joke that only some people like you guys who watch this video would understand. I don't know. I might actually have a bear emblem. I don't pay attention to most emblems, so I can't really tell you if I do or if I don't. But anyway, this is a fun tank to play sometimes. So I thought, well, I'm going to give this a shot since I'm working on that tank and I'm working on the contract for the other tank. I'm going to play this and see what happens. Well, it turns out I had a really good game. Not great, but it was really good. And the part about it that was good is what makes it exciting, and that's why I'm going to show you this game. So it's a roundabout way to show you this WIESEL game. Welcome to Kazarine. So here we start the fun stuff. A lot of good info to pass along, or observations, whatever. But I've been working on WIESELs off and on in different other rocket tanks because the skills help you. Now, as Top would say, don't do it, Duke. Don't go on the bridge. man, it's hard to drive this thing on a bridge. I really shouldn't do it. And then like an idiot, I'm like, hey, I'm going to do that again. Now notice I went real slow to make sure I lined it up. I'm almost fall off. Okay, don't go, no bridges. Top says I can't look. Every time I hear a rocket, I swear, I feel like it's going to hit me. All right, so now my sixth sense is going off, and I'm like, you know what? These guys are up there. I want to shoot that fat tank, and I'm like, you know what? There's two fat tanks. I'm getting out of here, man. I don't like this going off. This is like telling me, hey, stupid, get the hell out of here. You have no business. So I'm looking at this going, you know, kind of a lot of dudes over there in this area, and I need to get out of here. I just got drilled. So I'd already made a decision to leave, and then I got drilled, which is the reinforcement. So I saw that there's two heavy tanks. You see those guys over there about Charlie 7. So I said, you know, I'm going to go over there. I'm fast. I go like 92. You know, max speed is 97. But I go 92, which is good. Because, you know, there's certain attributes I wanted besides the 97 speed. So, I had to fiddle around with the configuration of the WIESEL to get it optimized for my skills, whatever those would be. Since you're not me, it's not that big of a deal. But the concept is important. Get the right skills if you want to have success with a rocket tank. Now, that is a Bradley. I thought, you know what? This guy's an idiot. He's not faster than me. I'm faster than he is. I'm not at my maximum speed, but my 92 is faster than his maximum speed. I have that tank. I'm like, okay, this is getting bogus. Yo, you want to rock? Let's rock. Bam. Thanks for the broadside, buddy. That's what I call the battleship profile. He gave me the battleship profile shot, and that's my dream shot. Okay, now I want to avoid his chain gun as much as possible, so I'm trying to get the heck out of here. Now when I drive in the game, I'm looking forward, but here on a replay I can look backwards and go, yeah, I did a great job. Now I want those heavy tanks, because heavy tanks are wide, fat, and relatively easy to hit. I'm like Tasmanian devil. Fire! Tag! And look, I got a friend coming to help me. Turns out he wasn't that helpful, but it's a great distraction. And there's that stupid Bradley jerk. I'm like, you freak. Well, again, that was a good shot, I guess. But he's a distraction. He's dead, Jim. So that guy wasn't supremely helpful in the damage sense, but man, as a distraction, he was awesome. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here. He's just focused on that German guy. He's flying a German flag. That's why I say that. Nah, better get out of here. I'm not quite reloaded. I thought I was closer to the reload than I was. Tagged him. Hey, buddy. Well, guess what? Boom! How's it feel? This is fun when you get to shoot guys like that in the WIESEL. It's fantastic. Now, one of the secrets of the WIESEL that I was explaining to Wrongway last night, he's having trouble with the WIESEL because the WIESEL is difficult. It's a completely different skill set than anything you've ever done. You got to get used to you hitting that right bumper and trusting that it has put some sort of a lock on the target. At the very least, it aims your tube at the guy, so when you pull the trigger, it's not going to default and shoot over him, which is a problem in the WIESEL, is it has a default of shooting above the target unless you use that right bumper or adjust your aim at some point. And here's the fun part. Well, here's the other fun part. Hooray! I made third place. I go, yes, that means I have enough points to unlock that Chinese tank. So that's the other WIESEL guy. That's the guy with the German flag. You can barely make out that it's a German flag. It has, you know, the right colors. So here we are, and as you can see, I renamed my commander. So what happened? I mean, I had a real solid game. 100,000 plus silver, 7,000 plus commander. Now, I have a maxed out commander, so this is just all extra commander points, you know, for experience conversion if I need it down the road. But 2 kills, 2,400 damage, real solid, not super awesome, but a solid game. You know, 3rd place, again, you can't complain. And this was a game, one of the guys was complaining, it's like 4 weasels. I'm like, yeah, you know, he didn't like weasels. And I told him, hey, look, dude, at least it's a lot better than when you had 4 of those object 477s, those cheater tanks. He goes, yeah, but they're slow. I go, yeah, slow, and you can't penetrate them. That doesn't really sound like a good deal, does it? You know, you just need better teammates who can play better. That guy didn't last very long, unfortunately. But it was just a funny, you know, comment that he made in the game. Duelists destroy at least 2 enemy vehicles that cause damage. So I was hit by that heavy tank and also hit by the chain gun from the Bradley. And that's how I got that medal. And a 3rd class badge. I've never gotten a 2nd class badge. I'm just not that good yet. The weasel skills are difficult to learn and master for some people. I'm one of those guys. You know, there's other guys that I know that are awesome in the weasel. Some of them, you know, some people just roll out and they have it, and some people don't. And it's one of those things, I had to work on the weasel to get better. But I was able to work on the weasel and get better, improve my performance to where games like this one are more frequent than they used to be. And I really didn't feel like I was under any stress at all. It was a really fun game because I was making good decisions. I got the heck out of Dodge after I drove over 2 bridges. Okay, so I challenged 2 bridges and beat them. But I'm thinking, you know, I don't need to be going over bridges. That thing was scary. That was the scariest part of the game, was the 2 bridges I went over. I mean, I am not going to lie to you. Having guys shoot at me was less scary than those bridges. Because, man, you fall off the bridge, you're dead. You know, and you look like an idiot. So that is hilarious in itself. So like I said, I had a real fun match because it was just, it went well because I had a good team as well, and that's a key thing. If you have a decent team, you have a chance to have fun matches. When your team is full of terrible players, it's not good. And it's not fun no matter how much you score. At least to me, you know, whatever. So let me go and show you the commander. Okay, here we are. We're going to do the commander stuff here and check out the equipment as well. So equipment. Now there's goof arounds you can do with the equipment, and I'm going to mention something that I haven't done on the Weasel, but is really useful when I did it to other tanks. I'm going to make a video about it at some point, but I haven't made that video. So for those of you watching this one, if you have other rocket tanks, I'm going to tell you something that I did that was really wild. Now, if you haven't seen my video on Nebelborg with O Sneaky, who was the MVP, the configuration for the equipment I got from him. I deduced 3 of the 4 that he had. That was camo net, enhanced targeting, and speed. Of the speed or reload. I wasn't sure which one he had, but I figured he had one of these 2. And these were the 2. He showed me what he had, which was fantastic. And it was really surprising how effective Now, I did how effective these are, and specifically how effective this enhanced targeting is. I didn't show it in the video because I didn't need to use enhanced targeting. But when you shoot a sniper type rocket shot, you're going to have the black smoke, and the enhanced targeting appears instantly. So you're seeing black smoke as the rocket is going away from you through the viewfinder, and you could see that tank with the outline. It's fantastic. So I learned that from him when I saw the replay that I used to make the video. I was like, oh my God, dude, it was awesome. So that's number one. It's awesome. But the thing that I did after experimenting with other tanks is that I have experimented with the triple zoom on other rocket tanks, like the BMPs or the Bradley or the Sheridan. And then I experimented with a combination that seemed so ludicrous that I wanted to see what it was like, and that was a combination. And I tried the combination of enhanced targeting and triple zoom. And so what I did, not on this tank, but on my other like BMP that has it, I removed the reload, because the BMP has a faster rocket reload than most. So I removed the reload skill, or equipment, the loader, replaced it with this guy, advanced zoom. This is the triple zoom, gives you 8 times zoom. The standard zoom, which you have, is you click it, that's a 2 times, and you click it again for the 4 times zoom. That's the standard that's there, whether you use enhanced targeting or not. But when you have enhanced targeting and triple zoom, you can triple zoom 8 times, and you're going to see the orange outline. Well, it's orange on mine because I guess I use the default blue for my team and orange for the enemy. And I get an orange outline of the enemy in triple zoom. So when they're in the trees, or the bushes, I can see that, and it's like, oh my God, this is awesome. So I wanted to let you guys know this. This is, this is a classic Shooter McGavin, secret from the pros, okay? No one has this information out there yet. I'm going to make a video about this and demonstrate it to show you what it's like. But at this moment, I'm just explaining it to you. I wouldn't necessarily use it on the WIESEL. You could, but I'm having great success using the WIESEL as what I call a torpedo bomber, which is how you saw me. I'm just rolling around freelance, aiming at the guy, shooting the rocket, and then, veering off at some point. So that's torpedo bomber, and you don't have to use the zoom. Now, I do make zoom sniper shots from time to time, but I just didn't in this match, so I just want to give you that information. On the consumables, the best combo for me is repair, first aid, and the gasoline for the speed. This compensates when I have this zoom here, I don't have the powertrain. So the powertrain speed loss is compensated by the gasoline. Now the thing that's missing, and basically you have 4 choices that most players will choose for the consumables. The 4th one that's not here is enhanced rations. So it's a combo. Brownie was thinking that the first aid was super powerful, and we experimented with that. He was like, man, I hardly ever use that repair. And then he realized he had a game, and it was one of those things like you make an observation and a supposition and then test it. Well, when we tested it, using first aid instead of repair, when you need the repair, you realize, yeah, that was a mistake. But we're willing to test this and find out, not just make a supposition and go with it as if it's actually been proven. We'll go and prove it. In our testing, this was the best combo for us. 1, 2, 3 right here. Now you can have a different combination that works for your style, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just giving you mine to let you see it. If you're not having success as much as you would want, maybe these will help you. Who knows? All right, now let's go check the commander. So these are suggestions. These are not edicts, from a superior officer or what have you. So when you're doing rocketry, you need certain things. I like the camo aspect because this drops the detection of your tank to a very low level. Now, the WIESEL is a special case because remember, WIESEL is not a light tank. It is a tank destroyer. So we can do things that you can't do, and I'll show you the main thing that really comes to play. So, camouflage expertise, I have this on all of my rocketry snipers. Muffled shot, again, to keep your detectability down. Sixth sense, because when you're trying to rocket snipe a guy, you're going to have to hold your shot and, keep it on target if the guy's moving. And it's very comforting to know that you're able to do this and it's not going off. That means they haven't, sensed you, etc., and you're safe. So, if you fire the rocket and it gets to be it's almost hit the guy and it goes off, you're like, well, it's almost there. I'm going to wait the fraction of a second or 1 second that it's going to take to hit this guy, fine, no problem. But if you fired the shot and the guy's like 400 meters away and you instantly get detected, you're like, yeah, I'm out of here. This is what it gives you. Increased visibility. This helps your spotting for other players. Silent driving keeps your detectability down. Again, this is not a light tank. This is technically a tank destroyer, and it does work on the WIESEL. It won't work on any other rocket midgets. It would work on any other tanks that like the WZ-122 or the MBT-70 or any other non-light tank that has rockets. So just keep that in mind. Minus 5% damage. You're going to get shot. Any bit helps, Off-road driving, this helps your driving work better than normal. Reload. Now, reload is also expendable if you feel like you need something different to take its place, because as there was a guy that had a video and I watched it, and he made an awesome comment that it is helpful to have the rocket reload sooner, but really, he said, for the most part, and he was correct, you're going to be driving around waiting for the reload, not so much for the reload itself, but waiting to be safe to where you can turn around and go from running away on defense to going and turning to offense. So in that context, he was like, it doesn't really matter how long it takes to reload. You have to be safe to be able to turn to offense before you can reload. So now I'm mentioning this, that you use your judgment, and of course the faster reload would be better, especially like when I was shooting that orange heavy tank. I was in position and I was just waiting for the reload, and I have a relatively shortish 22 seconds, I think is what it is. I'm not sure. We'll check in a second. I was just waiting for the reload on that one because I was ready to go. So that one kind of is the exception. But most of the time in the heavy fights, you're being chased, and when you're chased, you just gotta, don't worry about anything except running away. Sometimes now you'll find a new target as you try to escape the guy, whoever is chasing you. Like I had a minor chase with the Bradley, but he's not fast enough. His acceleration is terrible. So the horsepower of the Bradley prevented him from really, really chasing me. So I didn't have to worry about that. Other tanks on open ground, like the MBT-70 is pretty fast. The Challenger's pretty fast, and the Abrams are fast. Those are really annoying dudes, and so you need to use your agility to escape. Now let's go check this reload. So my reload 20 seconds and change. That's decent. It's a constant choice with your equipment and your commanders, with the reload and what have you, is, what do you need? This, you got the speed, you've got the still concealment. Now, if you notice on the far right, you can see my WIESEL. It says still concealment is 86. Yes, I know how to make it 35. But we were having a discussion last night about playing WIESELs, and Wrongway agreed with me. He's working on trying to improve his WIESEL play. and I'm trying to help him with whatever knowledge I have that he doesn't have. And I said, yeah, I can go to 35, but 86 is good enough. He goes, yeah, the difference is really not a big deal, and it isn't. Most of the time, you're not going to be in a position where the 86 or 35 is the big deal. Now, if you're able to use the 35 and have enough speed and whatever that floats your boat, that is like optimum. Or if you can run the WIESEL with 97 speed and that's your optimum, that's fantastic. Most of us are going to have to make a judgment. You know, you have to consider your reload speed, your overall speed of your tracks, and your still concealment. And so my numbers are 20-second reload, well, 20.25, 86 concealment, and 92 speed. Max speed is 97. Still concealment maximum, which would be the minimum number, is 35. And the reload, you can get the reload with the rations, goes to 19 point something. So you can actually get the reload under 20 seconds. Okay, I don't have the top reload speed, the top track speed, and the top still concealment. It's a juggling act. In my juggling act, you're seeing the numbers on the right, the max speed and the still concealment. Those are one notch below the maximum that they could be. Okay. The only thing lower than 86 is 35. The only thing higher than 92 is 97. And that's with traction, powertrain, and gasoline. If you have two of the three, well, you get a different number. Okay, and that's fine. So I'm juggling it for what is convenient for myself. You know, enhanced targeting. Once I saw Oh Sneaky do it, I would never change it. It's just really fantastic. So it's one of those things that we assume certain things from experience, and then we find out through experiment or through someone else's explanation that what you were assuming on this tank is a weirdo tank. So assumptions that you would normally make are not as useful because they, you know, you have other options that you weren't thinking about. Like I was not thinking about muffled shot. So it's stuff like that for the WIESEL. So, you know, this is just a helpful hint. Again, if you haven't seen any of my other WIESEL videos, you're getting this kind of information here to help you. This is a reinforcement. Instead of having to go and search for my other WIESEL video, you're going like, oh man, that would be terrible. I'll just give it to you here. It's the shorter version. So basically, you got the mini WIESEL lesson for your setup that will help you. So I know you guys are going to knock off the Chinese tank operation. One of the things you can do is you can actually do tier 2 matches if you want to use Panzer 38H to build your commanders. If you need to build commanders, that's a really nice option of running 38H matches, which is tier 2, and those matches are mostly on the mines, and that's a 7-on-7 matches. So you get top 6 real easy. So that's a super help on that. Fish also ran matches for that Chinese tank in co-op with tier 2s, again 7-man matches against robots. Much faster, and you can roll it. He says it's about 4 hours for the entire thing if you want to run co-op matches. Now, you're not going to get any long hauls at tier 2, but helpful, you know, information. Do whatever is the most efficient for you. For myself, if I wanted to do this for efficiency, which I didn't, I just was goofing around and letting it happen when it happens because I'm going to do this easy, no problem. I would have been running tier 3 artillery and raked it in on long hauls and raked it in on this Chinese tank. But I'm like, yeah, I'm just doing whatever floats my boat, and I'm trying to get better with rocket tanks. So that's what I, you know, and I did other stuff as well. I'm just goofing around, playing whatever's interesting to me, and keeping an eye on long haul, keeping an eye on the Chinese tank, which I've now done. So this dude, the T-34. Now, I'm not really even, well, I'm sorry, that's a Type 34. That's not the 34-3. There's the 34-3. So this is what, Tier 8? Yes. This is Tier 8, and this is Tier Preferential, plays up to Tier 9, so you can play this tank and not face 10s, which is probably good. I am probably not really going to play this tank because I don't care. I don't care to play medium tanks as a general rule. I'm going to show you what I would do instead. If I want to play a Tier 8 medium tank, Tier Preferential, and instead of that Chinese tank, America. Tier 8 medium tank, 50% commander bonus every match, just like a 38H. And I play this Astron Rex because this tank is good for me. I don't play this tank. See, I got a 0. Never played it. This KR is hideous. I can't stand the way it looks. I'll never play it. Vengeance, another butt kicker, 50% commander experience bonus tank. And this dude will whip. This dude will whip Tier 10s if you're on your game. All right. This is a Tier 8 fire tank. I just haven't gone around to playing it. T-42 got this tank for free. I can tell you how to get it for free because most people don't know. It's a secret. So if you want to contact me on Xbox, send me an Xbox message and I'll hook you up. If you're on PlayStation, send me a message here and then we'll arrange a platoon invitation, and I'll explain. I don't know if you can do this on PlayStation. It's on Xbox for sure. So I can help you get this dude for free, and it's super easy, but I'm not going to broadcast this because I don't want those guys to, find out and then cut it off potentially. It's a flaw in their system that I learned from somebody else, and I will tell you person to person, but that's it. So just, heads up on that. So that is the end of this video. Oops, let's do this. Oops, again. Okie dokie. We are at the end of the video. So I got my free Chinese tank. I'm sure you guys will get yours. It's not that difficult. So get after it, do whatever. And if you can have fun doing it like I did, I got super lucky and had a great telephone notification from the cell phone. But I had a great match in my WIESEL. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Got my T-34-3, and I need to go work on, other videos. And when I'm working on it, I'll work on long hauls. So that is the end of that. So please leave a like if you could. Please tell your friends. That way they'll have a chance to learn this stuff, and maybe they'll leave a like or subscribe or both. You never know. So I'm out of here. I got more stuff to do. Check out the daily classic shorties because I add one of those every day. That's everything. Look forward to seeing you guys in another video today, tomorrow, or the next day, whatever floats your boat. So I am out of here. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys later.